John, usually game week does not include a quick trip to New York City, but this was something special this week. You got to accompany Jake Wieneke to New York for the Campbell Trophy Awards Banquet, and this is a kid that exemplifies everything about your program, both on and off the field. What was that experience like with him?
Well, it was unbelievable. First of all, New York City is obviously a little different than where I grew up.
Yeah.
So,
it's not Selby, is it?
No, it's not Selby. But, Jake really is a picture of what we all want in a student athlete. A great athlete, a great student. That's what the award's for. Who is the best one at all levels, but also just an unbelievable person. And it was fun to be with him and his family, and a real honor to call myself his head football coach.
We haven't had a chance to talk too much about Jake this year, John, but let's face it, Jake's numbers are down a little bit, and because defenses are focusing so much on shutting him down, have you seen a level of frustration from him at all this year in terms of the challenges that he's facing?
Not at all. No, he's a team guy. He will always be a team guy. Obviously, he loves to catch the ball. He loves to make the play. But if you watch him, he celebrates with anybody that makes the play and never hangs his head, works his tail off all the time. So really, Dallas Goddard's numbers are down, Taryn's are down, but we got the best record we've ever had. So every year's a different recipe.
Let's talk about the win against UNI. The word, as I'm watching this game unfold, the word that kept coming back to me was confidence. I mean, this is a team that obviously had beaten you guys earlier in the year. Your team came out and did not show any signs of being timid, scoring on your first 5 possessions. So the confidence your players played with, the confidence that your staff coached this team with going for it on 4th down, having the confidence there, the confidence your special team showed. I mean, it was a confident group that took the field on Saturday.
We were, and confidence comes from, past success and preparation. Our guys worked so hard. We had won 5 in a row, so you had that feeling. When we looked at the UNI tape in preparation, we could see areas that we fell short that really isn't Jackrabbit football. So the recipe that day was really good, and the win was great.
And part of the confidence from a coaching staff has to be your ability to pick up those yardage on 1st and 2nd downs to put you in those 4th and short situations to make it easier for you to say to your offense, let's go get this one.
Without a doubt. And again, we've had a couple games where we've decided we're going to be aggressive and if we get the 4th and short, not anywhere in the field, but we're going to be aggressive and tell our players we believe in them. And again, that's part of the reason I think we played really well is we came in with confidence and we showed confidence in our football team. And our defense did really well for 3 quarters. I couldn't ask for more out of the game plan and that part of the game. So it was a good win in front of a decent crowd.
And right now you got a very confident kicker as well. Chase Vinatieri booming a career-high 55-yarder and going 3 for 3 that day.
Yeah, he's in a zone. He's really kicking well. In fact, I think some of his field goals went further than his kickoffs. He just rises to the occasion when needed, and really, I'm really proud of him because we've had some weather situations that aren't the best for kicking, but he goes out and practices and believes in himself and makes the kick when needed.
And then Cade Johnson, we've talked about what an electric ability he has to instantly jumpstart a drive by getting a great field position with a 70-yard punt return.
Yeah, Cade's a special young man, a young man in our program, and as he develops, he'll make more of those plays. But I'm really happy with the way he plays now and excited he's on our football team.
And, John, there was a time during that game, there was a stretch where Brady Mengarelli and Isaac Wallace and Mikey Daniel all had some really, really tough yards and really, really ran the ball, I thought, with a really gritty confidence as well, going back to that word confidence. There was a stretch there where they just seemed to be feeding off of each other.
Well, they do, and they're the best of friends. They share a position, so when they get out there, they're battling to stay on the field, and yet the 2 guys on the sidelines are cheering for the guy in the field. It is a really neat combination. Coach Johnson's done a great job of coaching those guys, mentoring those guys, giving them the reps they need, and it helps our football team out.
And the best drive of the day was the one you don't score on. You go 15 plays, you take 8 minutes off the clock, it ends with an interception, but really at that point of the game, what you needed more than anything else was just to eat up some time. Yeah,
it's amazing as the longer I coach how important timeouts and time on the clock is or isn't. It's just it's such a huge factor, and the discrepancy we had with points against UNI, there was a point there where I know our players felt we got a good chance of winning this because of the amount of time, and a big part of that was that drive we had.
You mentioned that defensive effort, especially in the fourth quarter, forcing 2 turnovers.
Yeah, just rise up and battle all the time. Again, just so proud of our team. Now, we shouldn't intercept the ball in the end zone and try to run it out. That's not smart, but big play in the end zone to get a turnover, not have them get 8 points, and Lorenzo just needs to learn a lesson or take a knee. But turnovers are huge wherever they're at.
So the chips fall in your favor. You get to host now in the quarterfinals, and you got a team, though, that's kind of playing with house money. I mean, here's a New Hampshire club that knows all about being in the postseason. They've been there longer than anybody. They've been there 14 straight years now, and they're coming off a big road win at Central Arkansas. And this is a team, of course, being from the Northeast, where the weather is not going to be as impactful for them as it would be a team coming from a warmer climate. So this is a team that obviously requires a lot of respect from your club.
Yeah, and our guys they'll be respectful. They won't assume anything. They know at this point everybody's got extra motivation. Everybody's gonna work a little harder, if not a lot harder, to be able to play another week. Especially the senior leadership on all these teams. You watch film. You don't have to do anything other than watch film and know they're a really good football team. And to be one of the top 8 left, we need to be ready to play our best football.
It's a cliche to say that defense wins championships, although there's a lot of truth to it. And here's a group that has 8 sacks and 8 turnovers in their 2 playoff wins.
Yeah, and that's playing a lot of base defense. So it tells you what kind of players they are, ability they have, and Jeff, it tells you that when a play's needed, they rise up and make it, because they've got a bunch of guys that make big plays in their team.
A couple of really young guys that are doing well for them. Their linebacker, Quinlan Dean, is just a sophomore. He's got 118 tackles. Their sophomore cornerback, Isaiah Perkins, has 5 interceptions. Rich Holt, their senior, really impresses me. Here's a guy who's 6'4", 294, and he gets to the quarterback. Yeah,
they're not doing things to make these guys have success. They're just much of the time they play base defense, and I maintain, if you can do that and make teams try to march the field, you don't have to try to put pressure on teams. That is the best, and then you have the D lineman making the sacks or the corner, because he's doing something he's done over and over and over.
Their quarterback situation's a bit in flux. Their starter, Trevor Knight, is going through concussion protocol and probably won't know until today or tomorrow what his status is going to be for Saturday. So in the meantime, they've got redshirt freshman Christian Lupoli, who came in, and they were a different team with him in there. They don't throw the ball a ton anyway, but especially with him in there, they ran the ball a lot. So which quarterback do you scout for?
Well, they're both running quarterbacks, so we know we have to do that. And I know the young man had the injury, had the head injury, the concussion, but in reality, this is it. So I'm sure they're going to try to get him cleared and allow him to play, because he does throw the ball a little bit better than the younger guy. We're preparing for their offense. We've got 12 games, 13 games on them. So we've seen everything. Their offense is unbelievable in terms of something new every week and a vast amount of formations. Not that many plays, but it really puts you on edge by adjusting to all their formations.
And a couple of really good receivers in Neil O'Connor and Malik Love. These are guys that have over 2,000 yards combined and 13 touchdowns this year. So when they do go up top, they've got a couple of really good targets.
Yeah, both those guys are special. Different personalities in terms of athletic ability. The guy with the most receptions, he's more of a long strider like Jake Winicky, and the other guy's an inside receiver that can wiggle and get away. Both are looked at for a passing game. When they need yards, that'll be one of those 2 guys will be the first guy that quarterback looks at. We
talked about confidence in your team, and you guys have gone for it on 17 times this year on 4th down and had a very good amount of success. New Hampshire has gone for it 34 times on 4th down this year, John, so they're not afraid to roll the dice.
Yeah, they're not, and you'd have to. I don't know the situations. Maybe a bunch of those are when you're behind or whatever. Maybe it's not just confidence, but need to keep the ball. But I know that's a lot in that amount of games, and we need to be ready for them anywhere in the field to be able to go for it. And I know once again this year and in this game, you're hoping for some crowd support, and you need some people to come out and root for you. That's the thing everybody can do. I mean, our guys are working hard. They're doing everything they can. It doesn't take much to buy a ticket and get here and help support the Jacks. And and one person adds up to two people, adds up to ideally 10,000. A chance for South Dakota State to make history, a chance to watch these guys play for maybe the last time on our home field. I hope the Jackrabbits show up and with their buddies help us win this football game.
How healthy is your group, John?
We've got one guy, offensive lineman, that's questionable. We won't know that until probably Friday afternoon, maybe even wait till Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we're really healthy.
What a blessing this time of the year to be that healthy.
Yeah, and again, our most valuable player, most valuable coach, most valuable staff members, Brett Penning, our athletic trainer, does a phenomenal job maintaining these guys' health.